Are you ready for some more knowledge? Today, I'm going to be bringing you along for raw packed stew meat. That is what we are doing today. It is super easy, super quick, and I hope that you stick around because it is going to be one that you do not want to miss. Alright guys, so I have all my clean jars ready to go. I've inspected them, made sure that there wasn't anything chipped. We're doing a mixture of wide and small mouth or regular mouth. And we are raw packing. Now, as I've said in previous videos, I used to never raw pack my beef. Oh, see, this is the best light, but my kiddos can get the tripod. Anyway, I used to never raw pack meat because the first meat that I ever canned was chicken. I raw packed it, and it straight up smelled like tuna when you would open up a jar. And so from then on, I just par cooked everything except for my corned beef. And I actually have a video of where I par cooked and raw packed and then tested it, and I actually preferred the raw pack of the corned beef. Then a friend of mine, my best friend that also cans, she raw packed some beef and said it was amazing. I tried it. It was amazing. So now the only thing that I will for sure ever par cook is chicken. You will never see me raw pack chicken on this channel. I'll just throw that out there right there, unless it is bone-in, skin on. I will do bone-in, skin on because it makes a delicious broth, but just boneless, skinless chicken, no. I don't know what it is, but it comes out smelling like tuna and it tastes off, and it's awful to me. So I do not do it. But we're doing stew meat, and we're actually doing stew meat the super easy way. When I got my cow, I had them do some of the meat as stew meat. So I have 2-pound packages. I have 16 pounds in my fridge thawing. So you just take your meat and pack it in your jar. And that is really all there is to it. And you can pack it in there because we are not adding any liquid since we're raw packing. It is going to make its own juice. And I also have my canner warming up beside me. This is going to go for 75 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure from my altitude. And we want an inch of headspace. So see, I pack it, but I don't super pack. There. So you can see I've made it to the inch of headspace, which is this bottom rim, on most of it, but some of it hasn't. That is okay because I don't want it to be too dense in there. And this should make a good amount of broth to hopefully. So that is how you want to do it. Now you can add seasoning to this. You could add vegetables to this if you want. I like to be more of a ingredient canner versus meal canner. Now, I will do like cream of mushroom, French onion soup, stuff like that. But at the same time, that's still technically an ingredient for me. Yes, you could eat it by yourself, but it's more of an ingredient. So, like, if I want stew, I don't add my vegetables to this. I can my potatoes and carrots, sometimes together, sometimes not. And then I can my meat separate and my broth separate, and then it all goes in one pot together. That's how I like to do it. Now, if you did add vegetables, it would still go for the longest cooking time, which would be the meat. So it's still going to go for 75 minutes, 4 pints. So, I'm going to get all my jars filled up, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I managed to get all 16 pounds in my jars, in my 16 jars. And I think it is due to using the wide mouth. You can fit a tiny bit more in there, I think. So, all that's in here is the meat. And you want to push it down, but you don't want to like super pack it in. And you can see we're at our inch of headspace, which is right at this rim. All of them are, but we still need to debubble. And by debubbling, we may end up having to make adjustments, but we shouldn't. Yeah, we'll be fine. But you still just want to do this, just take it around, just to make sure that you don't have any air pockets, because that can cause your jar to fail. And they're sneaky, those air pockets. Sneaky little things they are. And like I said before, you could add some seasonings or vegetables or whatever you wanted. Sometimes I like to add salt, but I'm actually out of my canning salt, so I am not going to add any. You want to use a non-iodized salt if you are going to salt your meat, but it is not necessary for the canning process or preserving process. It is just something for flavor. But since I will be using these in dishes, I can just salt and pepper once they come out. And it makes it more versatile. No, you cannot have my tripod. Thank you. So this is all I'm doing. No liquid is needed. It will make its own juice. And then I'm gonna wipe the rim of all my jars with vinegar, put my lids and rings on, and then put them in my canner with a splash of vinegar. I sometimes forget to mention that, but in your water, add a splash of white vinegar and it'll keep your jars from getting cloudy, especially if you have hard water like I do. So a splash of vinegar, and then 75 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure for my altitude. I am at a low altitude, so if you're at a high altitude, you need to check because you may have to go up in pressure. So I will bring you back for our finished product of our stew meat. Alright everyone, so it is the following day. I let these rest overnight. I just took the rings off of them and I'm going to get ready and wash them up. They did wonderfully. There was very minimal siphoning that I could tell just from looking at the water. And look at these. They're not exactly, that's the only thing I don't like about the par cooked roast. It does not look at it as appetizing to the eye, but that is filled with so much wonderful broth. And there is very minimal fat, excuse me. This was an organic grass-fed, feed-fed cow. So it is very lean meat, very delicious meat. But, yep, I got 16 pints out of it. If I would have done all smallmouth, I could have gotten 18 because I stacked this, double stacked in my All-American, and you can actually fit 9 on each level if they're all smallmouth. But that's okay. I got 16 pounds, which is what I had thought out. I'm happy about that. Gonna get these washed up, and then we are going to go outside because it is nice weather. It'll be nice weather all week, and we are going to be doing some gardening. So stay tuned for that video. Until next time, guys.